Hello. I'm Professor Horace. I use the internet to teach my students. First, let me welcome you to my exciting graphic learning environment, Hinterlife. It's quite similar to Second Life, except Second Life has millions of subscribers, and Hinterlife has only one. Me. I sometimes allow my students to join me in here for my lectures, though I always kick them out again at the end of the course, so they can function in the real world. What other form of education can bring world experts to the students at the flick of a switch? Another thought. Sometimes even the greatest experts can feel very tired after running around in the real world and can give boring, monotonous presentations in the lecture theater. When that happens, they can be replaced by a charismatic, lively, vibrant cartoon substitute. That's right. Me. Just imagine, world experts in every class, and cartoon ones, when the experts can't teach, even if their lives depend on it. At the end of a busy day of substitute teaching, I always like to relax. I look forward to the day when everyone, whether teachers or students, will hire cartoon characters to do their work, who will send emails to each other, while you, the real people, laze around in beautiful resorts such as this.
Professor, one of your students is asking to log on to talk to you.
I should explain. I've asked my secretary to masquerade as a cartoon called Power Ava in order to interact with me. Would you like to play tennis with me while we talk, my dear?
Not particularly. I'd rather just ask you a question. I'd like to design graphic environments like this one for the millions of students who don't have fast, broadband internet connections. Can that be done, Professor?
I suggest you use a learner-centered approach to answering that question. The learner-centered approach is always a handy method to recommend when the cartoon teacher doesn't have a ready answer. Impressive synonyms, such as constructivism, help to justify the teacher in stepping back from the educational process altogether, being a fly on the wall, as some like to describe themselves, rather than a sage on the stage. We must be careful, however, that cartoon students don't take over the process altogether. Like the patients taking over the asylum. What would become of the cartoon teacher's salary then? If that ever looks like happening, I will have other terms ready. Deconstructivism would be a good one, suggesting that the teacher is still essential for explaining complex and obscure terms.
Will you have something to drink, Professor?
I'll have a vatted whiskey. Did you know? Vatted whiskey is the original name for blended whiskey and had been around for years, signifying mixed ingredients, until someone decided to rename it blended. I have to tell you. Recently I've been having troublesome thoughts about Power Ava. I blame the sexually explicit junk emails we are receiving these days. I think those responsible for junk emails should receive severe penalties. Although come to think of it, I could set up a junk emails factory here in Hinterlife to make money to run it. Yeah. To encourage teachers to choose our 3D environment, we have unionized. In this, the great courthouse of the Cartoon Faculty Association, we hear cases against learner-centered students who have attempted to outsmart their teachers, and teachers who have failed to use pedantic tactics to obstruct this goal. The CFA is doing a splendid job of reminding society that the teacher is still in charge. The membership promotes terms such as distance teaching and mobile teaching over the currently more politically correct, but limited, terms, distance learning, mobile learning, etc., which suggest that the teacher is redundant. There's one of those student miscreants right now. Look at the miserable specimen. I'll make him see which side his bread's buttered on. I can do what I like behind this cartoon persona. He didn't expect interactions like this, did he, when he came playing on the internet? All tough love, of course. Yes. My animated Hinterlife world is a loving, beneficial place in which the needs and values of society are carefully protected. Let me show you inside one of our learning centers. Oh no, that one is equipped for illicit gaming. Next door then. Ah. That is being used for practices that some might find unseemly. And come to think of it, the buildings over there are to be occupied by a religious organization with clandestine recruiting methods. Not that I personally sanction any of these practices. After all, our students are mature adults and are free to make whatever life choices they wish. I suppose that if I ever do get any subscribers, I ought to warn them of the dangers they may find in my enchanting cartoon world, especially as I'll be making a ton of money by renting out its buildings for questionable activities. Anywho, I hope my little documentary will tempt you to explore what Hinterlife offers to online educators and students. Download it, free of charge, as an open access resource, to advertise Hinterlife's services. This is Professor Horace. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.